Guys, so the green industry is getting some new tech, and as we all know, technology from a grower standpoint on our side of the green industry is something we haven't seen a whole lot of. But we got something special for you guys today. Today we're interviewing David Turer with Plantiful. That what they do is bring inventory management catered to us growers and even garden centers a whole new way, helping you link it to your QuickBooks and just make the whole process so much easier. Faster turnaround times, knowing exactly what you have, when things will be ready, so you can execute sales a whole lot faster. David and I dive in real deep into what Plantiful is, how you can use it, how you can integrate it. It really is a platform dedicated to us. We also talk about the market, the future, and so much more on this episode. This is one of the ones that you're not gonna wanna miss if you are really in the green industry. So without further ado, let's jump right in.
Are you ready to grow? The Plant Movement with Willie Rodriguez of A's Ornamental Nursery in sunny South Florida is the podcast for those in the nursery business. Garden centers, landscapers, power growers, and plant enthusiasts. Willie is a passionate leader in the plant movement and has helped others grow their business into multi-million-dollar companies. This show will save you time, money, and headaches through top-notch education and by connecting you to experts in the industry. Let's grow. Here's your host, Willie Rodriguez.
What is up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Plant Movement Podcast. I'm your host, Willie Rodriguez, and today we have a guest that brings technology to the table for growers in the green industry. Super crazy. I'm super excited and pumped for this episode. Very smart individual. His name is David Turer with Plantiful Technologies. What is up, my brother David? How you doing today?
Doing well, Willie. How are you? You're making me blush.
Yeah, don't blush, man. Don't blush. Dude, I'm doing great, man. Life is what you make it. And I can't have a bad day at this point. Life is just moving forward in a positive way. And with that mindset, it has us together. You know, we met through Instagram and here we are. You know, the power of just everything of tech in the whole tech world. That's something that I love, that I preach about how this industry is very outdated. So for people like you have big opportunities. You know, people always talk about, let's say, get into this crypto early because it's going to scale. It's going to climb. That's you, Mr. David. You're going to have a lot of opportunity to grow in the industry just because of what the industry is. So I would love to.
We hope so.
Yes, I would love to dive in to what Plantiful is, why you created it, where you were when this idea popped in your mind. Let's start with that. Where were you when Plantiful popped in your mind, and what is Plantiful?
Oh man, great questions, Willie. So, you know, my background, I love helping businesses. I started out working, doing finance operations for tech companies, for marketing companies, for chemical companies. And you know, a lot of the chemical guys out there, the quote unquote bad guys of the world, I really wanted to go figure out how could I help businesses that I want to help, that I can wake up in the morning and feel good about what I'm doing. And, you know, when I think about the plant world, I think, hey, here's an opportunity to help sell more plants into the world, make the world a greener place, and to help do that by making these businesses sell plants more profitably. So, you know, a total win-win-win. I can feel happy, businesses can make more money, people get more plants, make the world a better place. So that's kind of, you know, the light bulb went off. And then once I started talking to people in the industry and hearing, you know, hey, how do you run your business? How do you manage your sales, your inventory, your decision making? So much of it is instinct and old school pen and paper, that there just seems to be like a tremendous opportunity here to build technology for this industry to help improve people's lives that are working in the industry and to make their businesses run better, run more healthily. And you know, that's what we're trying to do here at Plantiful.
That's awesome, man. So I have a question for you, but first I want everyone to hear what Plantiful is. That way you guys understand my question a little bit better. Tell us what Plantiful is, and just in a nutshell, what is Plantiful?
So Plantiful is an inventory management system specifically built for the world of horticulture to help you track all your live plants, everything that's changing, where it is, how much do you have, when is it going to be ready, and integrating that with sales so that you can easily make sales, update your production team, your sales team, your logistics team, keep everyone in your business on the same page, get your inventory to update live real time so you can better answer customers, better keep track of everything going on. And then at the end of the year, look back on what you did and make better decisions for the next year.
That's crazy. Is that something that can be integrated with, let's say, like a e-commerce store as well online if someone wanted to do that?
Yes, sir. It's a great question. So, right now we're looking to both integrate with the Shopify's and WooCommerces of the world, but also we want to go and build our own, make sure that people, if they want, they don't have to leave the platform. And, you can, same way you or I could, look at my business's inventory, you could put it online, get people to buy from it directly. Why should the e-commerce of the world be limited to outside this plant world?
Awesome. So that's something that you're looking to do in the future.
Yeah, near-term future.
Near-term future.
Next six to 12 months, let's say.
That's crazy. So you're in Manhattan, all right, and I'm sitting here in
Yes, sir.
the plant world down here in Miami-Dade County, and it's crazy how you are someone from a whole nother sector of just the business world, and
Mhm.
now you're working on creating something that is very valuable and just has so much potential for not just what you bring to the table, but for the end consumer. What made you? This was my other question. If you guys were thinking what it was, what made you want to jump into the plant world?
Oh.
Because that's something that you're in Manhattan. There might be some plants
Mhm.
there. People do some nice landscapings there, but that's not like something were you brought up in it? Was it something that just intrigued you? Why the plant industry?
Yeah, it's a great question. I'm not from the industry. No one in my family is in the industry. My apartment's slowly turning into a jungle now, but there's not that many plants up here on the island of Manhattan. But
Mhm.
that's kind of why I wanted to get into it. Anytime I can go visit a customer, go to a trade show, breathe in some fresh air, surround myself with nature and plants, get out of the city. It's really nice. And I feel like the city's promotes the hustle, the good tech scene, the build something big, but so much of that is directed to businesses that are not, I don't want to, yeah, like there's a lot of real world out there
Yeah.
that has been overlooked by the tech space. And so I knew I wanted to go build something that could be helpful to real people out in the world who aren't, in the crypto Web3 universe, folks who want to say, hey, I'm a small business, I'm creating life, I'm creating plants. And I wanted to do something in the green space, do my part to help the climate, and
Yeah.
this is the opportunity I saw.
That's awesome, man. It's crazy that you don't have to be, let's say, involved in it to jump in it, and you just have to be enlightened and see the opportunity. And I really love what you're doing. So talk to us real quick. Let's say we walk through. So I'm a nursery. I
Mhm.
have today 65 acres of inventory, and I don't, let's say, track it with a software that you have. So
Mhm.
I grab all my inventory, I plug in numbers, which would get me, it would be somebody going out, counting everything that's there, plugging it up. I would assume the first time would be the more time consuming type of
Mhm.
thing, right? And is this user friendly for us to be able to do without having to contact you guys and all of that? It's user friendly, correct?
Oh yeah, that's a huge part of this, right? We know that our goal is to get people to spend less time on the computer and more time hands in the dirt, selling to customers, growing the plants. And so what's been crucial for us is making sure that everything we build is 1, 2 clicks. You're on a tablet, you're on your phone, you're out in the field, and you can say, yep, inventory's up to date. Oh, this one not up to date. Let me click. Now it's good to go. I could take a picture of it, have that in the system,
Wow.
all that kind of good
So
stuff.
all that stuff. So I go and I sign up, and you guys do some stuff behind the scenes because I remember you telling me it takes a little bit to start setting everything up. Once
Hmm.
everything's set up, I start plugging in all my inventory, all my numbers, everything. And then
Hmm.
from there, now I have everything logged in from a liner up to field grown, from specs and gallons. It's all set up for us guys. So now from there, I can link it with my QuickBooks, correct?
Yes, sir.
So when I go selling, clicking on the items, it automatically does the deductions, correct?
Exactly. It does it in the system, generates pick sheets for your guys so they know exactly what to pull, where
Wow.
they're pulling it from, sends an invoice to QuickBooks so that way you can track, from accounting perspective.
So, like, let's say you have multiple properties. You can name each location. You can name each block. You can name it by the item. like the name of the plant, the scientific name, or the
Hmm.
common name, whatever you want. If there's a nickname that you and your your employees call a plant, you can put it under that. And then from
Hmm.
there, it automatically deducts. And then as you go planting, you just see what was planted in that day or that week or however you guys want to do it. And then you just go uploading it again. And there's also ways of showing what inventory is, because let's say I plant something, it might take
Hmm.
3 months, 6 months, a year to be rooted and ready to sell. I can put it
Hmm.
there as inventory, but not ready to move, right? I could do that as well.
Exactly. You can set task lists as well. So you can, set up, hey, I need some of my guys to pop this up on this date in the future. I'm telling my sales team this will be ready to go in 8 months. Someone calls me up in the fall. I want big order for ahead of spring. You can actually pull up based off of that forecast. Hey, here's what's going to be ready in April. Here's what's going to be ready in June. Tie up that inventory so that you sell ahead and plan ahead and
For
keep track of
pre-booking.
everything.
Yeah,
Exactly.
we do a lot of pre-booking here. Like
Hmm.
certain items, we'll put them out, but as a pre-book. So hey guys, we just planted them, or hey, the liners are ready. We're gonna step them up into threes. If you guys are interested and you want to get your hands on them, that actually just happened with a plant called Arbicola Dazzle. Today happened today. Today we launched them. That's it. They're launched
Nice.
out, and we already had the list of all the pre-booking. So we already called everybody and said, hey, they're 50% rooted. If you guys want them, you could take them now. And they're not 100%, but at least you can have them there and start getting inquiries. Your customers can look at them. They can pre-book with you. And that's it. We're already pulling all those orders so they can get shipped. So that's very cool that that's offered. What are some of the other things that Plantiful
Right.
can do for a business like us?
So, a lot of it is being able to do that auto allocation process, right? Someone calls up, I want 100 of these, but you've got it on 3 facilities and 4 different beds. You need to know where to pull it from. We can automatically assign it to what makes the most sense based off
Oh,
of,
wow.
when it became ready. But you also, give you that view of here's everything if you want to manually change it. Really just fully integrate that sales team with the production team, with your logistics team so that your truckers know where you're trucking it to. Your sales team knows up to date what's been pre-booked, what's been tied up, what's totally available. Your
Wow.
production team can go out in the field and track anything anytime something's changing, moving, being potted up. We can also track all the reasons things are changing. So you can be able to see at the end of the year, hey, how much did we lose to irrigation issues? How much did we lose to pests? Should we tweak some of our spray schedules? Should we, who's been doing what? When are they doing it? How much of our time is being spent, 10 a.m. versus 1 p.m. versus 5 p.m.
Wow. So that's very good. And it's accessible all online. So someone can be walking out with a tablet. You can have a tablet with internet and you can go updating.
Hmm.
You're walking through, you can take a picture with it, upload it right there so you know what it looks like. You can send that picture to the client. We have 2,000 available or 100 or 5,000, whatever the number is. And that's crazy, man. The system itself is very intuitive. And I love the fact that it's for
Thank you.
the industry. It's not something broad. Like there might be other platforms that can do that, but it's not
Hmm.
integrated for us. It doesn't have our terminology, our abbreviated words, and it doesn't have all that. So this is something that is dedicated to the green industry for the growers just to be more efficient. Think about how many calls you got to make to see, hey, Johnny, hey, we got an order of 1,000 this. Can you check and see how many we have? And now Johnny has to go to 3 different locations to see how many we
Hmm.
have. Like you eliminate all of that instantly.
Oh
And
yeah.
and then I would assume the first couple months of getting the hang of it, plugging everything up is what takes the longest. But after that, it's easy peasy. There's 20 plants that don't look that great. You take them off the list. So minus 20 due to this. Now you can send that straight over to your spray team. And now the spray team knows what they got to do to make sure the 20 more don't pass away. I'm just thinking, or start looking ugly, whatever it may be.
Oh yeah,
Nutrition,
exactly.
you can write right there. It had a pink muley bug or it needed more fertilizer, was off color. So now
Hmm.
it's like it's just faster, more efficient. Like think about like the money savings, because I know that you charge a fee to be able to use this platform, but
Hmm.
it's nothing compared to what you actually spend right now on just wasted time at the end of
That's
the day.
that's what we think, right? How many plants are you losing because you lost track? Your team went and pulled the wrong thing for the order. Something went unnoticed, and some inventory got lost or got spoiled. And on the sales front, right? To your point, your customer calls up, we need 1,000 of these. How many of those calls end with you saying, "I need to call you back. I got to go check,"
A lot of
versus
them, a lot of
if
them.
you had it on the system, right?
It all depends
So,
what it is. But yes, 100%. Right there, a salesperson can jump right in and say, "Yeah, we have X amount available. How many do you need? This? Yeah, no problem. We got them. Oh, we want to get it. We want to be here at 1 o'clock. Okay, no problem. We'll have it ready for you." And now you print out that thing, you type it in, boom, 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 create the invoice. The ticket goes to the team, and now the guys that pull the plants know exactly what block and from where and what the picture looks like and the whole nine.
exactly.
How many people can use this at once? Like how many users can be on this platform?
Technically, close to infinite. There's not a
Wow.
technical restriction for us.
Okay.
We do charge by users.
Okay.
So, if you're a business that has, hundreds of employees that all want access to the system, it costs more than, mom and pop shop, one
Uh-huh.
location, a handful of people.
Okay.
But, from a technical standpoint, we can handle, any amount of people in the system. And that's a huge piece of that live update, right? Being able to make a sales order while someone on the production side is counting things in the field and can warn you, right?
Yeah.
Hey, I
100%.
I think this is about to be sold, but actually 5 minutes ago someone checked it and it doesn't look so good.
Yeah, no, dude, I see time saving like big time with this.
Hmm.
I love the fact that you've even gone to the point where it's like the mom and pops should not be spending what the big, huge nurseries are. So you
Hmm.
even have something set up looking out for them, and that's something that you don't see a lot. Mostly things have a price, and that's what it is. And the fact that you can scale depending on what you're doing, and it is a fraction of what you spend right now. You might not just like not you, David, but like you guys
Hmm.
listen. If you're a grower, you probably spend 10 times more a year on just wasted time than you would what David charges for the Plantiful platform for real.
Appreciate it. And
Yeah.
as you mentioned, right, I'm not from this industry, so
Mhm.
we're trying to be as much of a sponge as possible. If there's stuff that our platform doesn't do today, that's what we love to hear. So
Oh
we
yeah.
go and we build things. The more folks we talk to, everything to your point, it's in the industry. So everything we're building is custom built for this space. And we generally don't build anything that isn't something people have asked us for.
Yeah, yeah, because you're talking to the people that you hear the problems and you're trying to create solutions for them. You're a smart man.
Oh,
I
thank you.
love that. And you're only how long in? A year and a half?
A little we just crossed a year,
You just
actually.
crossed a year. Guys, this guy did all this in 1 year. And your team is how big?
There's five of us.
5 people. I don't know if all of them are in Manhattan, but
No, no,
something
we're spread around.
we're spread around. But like think about just that, guys. He's in Manhattan. There's no excuses, is what I'm getting at. You want to create something, you can create it. It doesn't matter where you are. It matters what you know and who you know. And then from him going out, speaking with other people, he's being able to just listen and integrate things quickly. So I see the future for Plantiful, being plentiful is what I see, just for not just for the company itself, but for like what it can create for us growers, and even shifting into other things as well, like online sales. Like that's something huge. Imagine you're a nursery, guys, and people can go on your website, or they can go on, let's say, his website, and they can just buy the plants right online, and create a sales ticket, pay for it right there, and they can pick it up. That right there is what the future needs to be for this industry. So I thank God that someone like David is in the industry doing things to move the industry more forward and just a faster pace, because we can all use that. Labor is not cheap at the end of the day, and the less expenses we have, the more, let's say, profitable, the more opportunities you can create for the future of your own business, is how I look into all of this. If you guys are enjoying the content that we're putting out here on the Plant Movement podcast, make sure to subscribe and follow, giving us a 5-star review. It really goes a long way. Also, share it with someone that can benefit from this content. As always, we want to continue connecting you with people in the green industry. And make sure you get in touch if you want to jump on the podcast. Let's go.
I'd be curious for your business, right? I know you started posting on Instagram not that long ago.
Mhm.
Now, I think you mentioned you get sales on Instagram, right? People post and say like, "Yeah, I want those plants you just showed me."
Yes, that happens. That happens more now than it's ever have, because we've been consistent with it. And over the years, the popularity, I guess we could say, of our stories have really engaged the viewers, because they get to see that one of the problems with the industry is one, you don't know if the person's sending you a photo. You're 500 miles away. You don't know if that
Hmm.
photo looks like everything. Like let's say you order 100 plants, you don't know if that one photo looks like all 100 or all the 100 are going to look like the photo. So
Hmm.
that's why I love Instagram. And also things like the platforms that we have currently, they either run as a book that gets sent out or something that's like 30 days, and then you got to update a photo. A lot happens in 30 days. Things happens in seconds. So that's what I love about using that platform, because it's up for 24 hours and it's gone. So it's like, if you need something, you can go back to the highlights, you can check it out. But for the most part, it's live, it's real. I'm showing blocks, I'm showing the product, and it's engaging to the viewer. So the viewer gets to hear who you are, how you talk, how you speak, what you listen, like what you sound like, and then you can make it as fun as you want. You could do anything you feel like. But we've grasped social media pretty hard, or very hard, and just tried to really impact not just, let's say, what we're doing, but impact the industry and show that you can level up and you could do things outside of the box and be creative. You could be a trendsetter. You don't have to be a follower like everybody else. And it's exciting, man. I love filming the stories. I
That's
know
amazing.
I know you watch the stories every once in a while, so thank you for that. But
Of course.
you tell me what you think about the stories.
No, I mean it's great. It's great, and that's I think a lot of people think there's the way I've always done things. There's my guys that fax me their sales orders, and
Yep.
that works fine. But if you take your sales online, if you start taking photos, if you open yourself up to those new sales opportunities, it's awesome. They come,
Yeah.
right.
We've
That's
we've made a lot of connections through Instagram, and it happens pretty much on a weekly basis, where something fun and exciting happens through social media platforms, and it's something that I would not use as a tool. Like I wouldn't cut that off as a tool. I would always have that. There's other platforms that also generate a lot of opportunity, but I feel like this one generates the most, just because you can do whatever you want and be as creative as you want to be. Let's say the old guys in the industry, they might be using faxes. It's okay. But they're kids that take over the business, or the young gun that sees the opportunity and wants to dive in, like yourself, that might not be familiar with it, but's eager and hungry and ready to grow. You're gonna use it. So I see the industry now. I would say in the plant world, like the actual growers world, I see a very small percentage on social media. I want to say maybe
hmm
10%. And that's probably too high, in my opinion. I see a lot of guys that are growers that they have personal pages, but then they don't have business pages. So it's like, guys, wake up,
hmm
you're losing opportunity every day. And then I see social media really big in the landscape community, in the maintenance side, like lawn mowing, stuff like that. I see all those guys on social media. I would say a majority of them, probably over 50 to 60% of what the nation is on social media. They get it, but the
hmm
growers are just old school. So I feel like as time goes on, the younger guns, they pick up, the reign, and it's we're gonna jump on social media, we're gonna make it happen. So I see it, happening and evolving over time, just like what you're doing now. I feel like over time there's gonna be more people trying to implement things like what you're doing. So the fact that you're in it early, and then you're
hmm
engaged, and you're taking time to go fly out and meet customers and go to trade shows and talk and ask all these deep questions, I feel like you're going to be, first in line to the race, which is what you
we
should. And then I
we
feel
hope
like,
so.
yeah, I feel like Plantiful, you keep that momentum. I feel like over time, like you can be something powerful that the industry needs, not just, let's say, for what Plantiful offers today, but fast forward 5 years from now, Plantiful offers 3 or 4 different things that are much needed. And now you become an asset to the industry, just like Google is on all our phones. It's programmed to be the search of the phone the second you get it, and
Hmm.
you want to watch videos, it's YouTube. Like there's other platforms to watch videos, but what do people use? YouTube. So I feel like over time, why wouldn't Plantiful have an opportunity to go and grasp that? I feel like it could. I feel like that's what you should shoot for. You're in this
Oh yeah.
long haul. So
Exactly. That's the hope, right? I mean, we've done what we've done in a year. So we hope when you look at us 5 years from now, we're hopefully helping businesses in every which way.
100%.
We're happy to be helping people save their time today, find some efficiencies on the inventory and on the labor side. But hopefully you blink and we'll also be helping make you new sales, providing new opportunities, new channels, make it as easy as possible, as easy as a Google or YouTube, right? To be able
Yeah.
to keep track of everything, sell all your stuff, be the business hub for
Yeah,
the
100%.
horticulture world.
Let me ask you this. Now, let's say I'm a broker and I'm not a
Hmm.
grower, but I want to have inventories from other nurseries. Is
Hmm.
that something that can be done today with the platform of Plantiful?
Ooh. So what I'd say is that anyone who is using Plantiful has the ability to see their own inventory and export that, get, access to those real-time numbers and provide that to whoever they want as easily as possible.
Okay.
Once we roll out that kind of customer facing availability, customer facing ordering, I could definitely see the opportunity to, like, link a whole bunch of Plantiful customers up
I
with a
see that.
broker.
I see that working in the broker space, but I also see it working very big in the garden center space because
Hmm.
garden centers are like big. I call them like, let's say, a Home Depot or a Lowe's, right? They're supposed to have not just plants being their only source of income, but also other things that people need that come to buy the plants. So it's like a mini Home Depot is what it should be. And I
Hmm.
see like Plantiful coming in really, really strong when you have your vendors, right, your growers, because garden centers, you're not supposed to grow anything. You lose money when you do that. So now you get all your vendors on the platform. You're on the platform. Now they export all this stuff to you, and now you have exponential amount of just everything. So
Yeah.
now you can go and let's say I'm on it, and one of my garden centers that we supply are on it, one of my buddies. And now he has access to everything that I have. And now he can tell his customer, yeah, how many you need? 5,000? No problem. Quick
Yeah.
phone call. Hey, can you deliver it on Tuesday? Yeah, perfect. Done. It's that simple. Like I see a lot of opportunity for people to be able to maneuver quickly and those faster turnaround times. Like dude, man, thank you. I see this.
Oh,
I see this.
thank you. And when I hear that, my first thought is, I'm like, oh, you said you had to pick up the phone. We could probably build something, hit a
Okay,
button,
well there you
send
go.
you,
A button that does it and prints its own ticket, and it knows a delivery schedule. Let's say,
Yeah,
if the
exactly.
person offers delivery, if not, you can tie in someone else. I don't know. I know that the future is looking very bright for the industry. It's a powerful industry, man. $36.4 billion were sold in Florida last year, Mr. David. So
Damn.
yeah, so it's a powerful industry. That's just for Florida. That doesn't include New York where you're at or anything like that. A lot of this stuff did go to New York, but New York has a whole different table of plants that aren't
Oh
grown
yeah.
here on our side of the spectrum. So,
Yeah,
it's a
we
lot.
love bringing them up. We can't grow it in here in New York, but we'll
You can
grab a
have it in
lot of
your
those.
house. Yeah,
Yeah.
you can have it in your house, or you can take it outside in the summer. Yeah, we supply people in New York, and we also have brokers that they come down, they pre-order stuff for spring following year. They're like, hey man, I'm gonna pump 50 semis out of here. It's all right, bro. Come, we're ready. They ship a lot of palms to the malls and just nice green spaces. It's really nice. There's a lot of people that do green walls over there. I see that in on Instagram. I'll see stuff that it's over there in a bank to have a nice green wall and living wall, and it's nice, man. Plants really do something, spiritual, let's say, to people if that's where you're at in life and you look at it like
Oh
that,
yeah.
because not everybody looks at it like that. But
Oh
I see
yeah.
the future being very, very bright for the industry, and having people like you just makes things so much better and easier and faster and just more economical. Like, dude, I really like the fact that you have taken this, by the horns and made this like something that you really want to accomplish, because you're going to help a lot of us. And, over time, let's say over time, it'll become more popular, and then you'll be able to make more money. And then with that money, you can go and integrate more things, and you just put back, put back, put back. And before you know it, it's a huge thing that everyone can be using it. And you can even integrate things for everyone in the green industry. Like, I don't know, man. I'm excited for you, David.
100%.
I
Thank
would
you. And
I would
this
love to
is
be an investor.
hear that, investors? Anyone listen?
Yeah, yeah. The if
Uh,
you're an investor, you already know. Call us. Call me first so I can get 10%. I'm messing around.
this industry is so unique in the sense that people are so collaborative. There is such an air to, yeah, you're my competitor technically, but like, let's hang out, let's share a beer, let's
Yeah.
let's chat. So, we hope that, as we grow, word of mouth is everything in this world. you know
100%. Word of mouth is the best advertising possible, because
oh
you
yeah.
can make 100 million reels and you can jump up on YouTube and you can talk about it. But if people don't use it and they don't believe in it, then it won't take off like it could if people are talking about it. So I don't know, man. I love it. And it's a very unique industry. I've heard it multiple times from people that are outside of the industry, even guests that we've had on the podcast, and they talk about it. And I love to talk about it too. Like the old school mentality of this industry is very, man, I want to see my neighbor lost those items. Yes. That means we're gonna sell ours. And it's like, man, you guys are looking at it wrong. That it's all about helping each other and how much we really need each other. Because if you think about where the product ends up, so you go to this beautiful landscaping, it's been already installed for 6 months, a year, and it's starting to flush out. It looks gorgeous. You know how much work went into making that possible? Starting from the people that make the pot, the people that do the tissue culture liner in Costa Rica, or, just all of the everything that goes into what this is,
Oh yeah.
end result. And we all need each other more than we know. I feel like a lot of people don't understand how much you actually need your neighbor and the other people that are in the industry, and how beneficial it is to have that network of just, friends and a brother, like a brotherhood type of thing, where you guys can all just link up and talk and create and say, hey man, there's people that give, like, most of the, let's say, credit that's given around here. Some is contracts, but the majority is a handshake. Most of the deals that I make is with a handshake or with a little signature on a paper that at the end of the day means nothing. So, so it's like the trust that's out here. It's that old school mentality, which I like that about it. A handshake means more than money. A handshake means more than anything. And that's what I really love about this industry.
Totally. I don't know if it's the plants that make everyone that way, or if it's just,
Might be, man.
good people drawn into it.
Yeah,
But
not everybody, let's say, is a grower, is not going to have that passion. Let's say for someone that's a passionate grower, so you're going to look at it differently. But you can definitely feel, either a positive energy. There's places I go that the energy is super negative, and it's like, oh Lord, we got to go here, but let's get it done. Whatever it
yeah,
is, to come through for the end consumer. But for the most part, it's what you make it, man. Like any industry, but it's what you make it. That positive, you show up with a positive smile on your face, positive attitude, then, what are they going to do? Scream at you? It's not going to be like that.
it's pretty crazy to your point. Like there's so much generational change going on in the industry, right? Like I don't know, how do you see it playing out between all the people who, you know, they've been doing this for 30 years, they want to get out of the game. Do you think that folks are going to be able to pass it on, or how many hustlers are there out there like you looking to, you know, grow and really build your nursery out?
Well, to tell you the truth, it's not looking super duper bright at the moment. It's looking bright, but let's say from a grower standpoint, a grower is probably the most intimidating side of the industry. 100%, because it's not like, oh, I want to jump into the green industry. I want to open a little plant shop, or you want to do it at the mall, or you want to do it at a little trade show, whatever. And you spend
Hmm.
$3,000, buy some plants, and your investment's $3,000. You want to get into lawn mowing? It's a $1,500 lawnmower that you bought off Facebook Marketplace, and now you get a little trailer for $600, and you tow it with your Prius, whatever it is, your mom's car, and now you're in. It's a light investment. When it comes to growers, it's a big investment. You got to get land, either you buy it or you rent it, and you got to put irrigation, and you got to know what you're doing, and you got to put ground cover, and you got to buy all the pots, soil, fertilizer, all this stuff, the baby plant, step it up. Now you got to wait 6 months,
Hmm.
and a lot can happen in 6 months. We're in hurricane season right now. Then you have freezes in the winter. A lot can happen where you can lose a lot. So it's a very intimidating side of the industry. And I do see a lot of the older businesses, the ones that have kids that are engaged. I see probably half of them, those kids being able to grow out the business and continue to maybe make it even better than what their parents had done, but
Hmm.
what their parents were able to get to, because now they're integrating other things. And then I see the other 50% just kind of like winging it, like, hey dad, what do I do today, type mentality, where they're not like engaged. I don't know, that's basically where I see that at the moment. I see a need for just so much in this green industry, And for growers, like right now, we have a shortage, not on product, but a shortage of quality. How do I know that? Because we move a lot of product and I can't grow it all. Nobody can grow it all. The biggest nurseries out here, the biggest nursery out here is Costa Farms. Okay. They have a couple thousand acres. Guess what they do? They have people grow stuff for them because they can't grow it all. You know, they move more than what they have space to be able to produce. And there's not enough of that top quality right now that I see. I know it has to do with the economy, it has to do with slowdowns, it has to do with choices people have made that haven't been the best, and things like that, not reinvesting, not thinking long term, whatever. The train of low interest rates, the handouts, the COVID money, all that stuff is dried out. So if you didn't play your cards right and know that this train was going to come to an end, then you're in a tough spot, and that's the reality. So it's tough to buy the good fertilizer, and it's tough to buy the the good soil that your plants actually need, and it's tough to be on a spray schedule because the pesticides aren't cheap, and then you got to hire somebody to do it, and then you got to have the equipment, and it's not easy to do. Right.
Totally. And you're taking, to your point, you're taking a bet. Oh, where do I think we're going to be 6 months from now, a year from now? Because
Exactly.
or if you're growing trees 3 years from now, 5 years from
5 years from now.
right?
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
like, you know,
Yeah, I see
pandemic
that.
hits, and who knew that everyone was going to decide they want to redo their yards, right?
And then you also have, let's say, the other side of the industry of the old timers. They've made millions. So it's like I got to deal with all this pressure from the county making new laws, and the governor making new laws on immigration and all these different things that moves the industry smoothly. And then it's like, man, I don't want to deal with this crap. I can sell. And that's what I've seen. I personally have five. There's 5 people that I know that 2 of them, they are one of the only nurseries that grow specific items. So what does that do? It puts a huge hole in that inventory if they go out, like if they sell and they start building homes, or God knows what they're going to do with that land. And then it gives opportunity for others. But will the others show up quickly?
Totally.
Like I would love to just go buy everything and keep going, keep the staff and keep going. But you need to have, a foresight, and you got to, move quickly, but you can't jump into all this stuff because that's how things crumble,
Totally. And that expertise, right? Knowing what is the fertilizer you need for this specific plant? What is the specific grow time? Where exactly on my facility do I put this? That's the kind of stuff that, takes decades to learn. And then if it just lives in their head or lives on a pen
Exactly.
or
A
a
lot of
notebook,
them, will not jump on a podcast, right? It's very intimidating. So it's like, what is going to happen? Like, you have done so much, even without them knowing. It's like you've done so much, and you've created so much opportunity for everyone that has been able to purchase product from you, and all the people that you taught how to grow specific things, your employees that have been with you for 20, 30, 40 years. And who are you going to leave it with?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a big part of what we're hoping we can help people with, right? It's not just the business you're running today and what you need to sell tomorrow, but it's also, it's a retirement plan for some of these older folks that might say, hey, if I use Plantiful for a few years, it's recorded exactly what I did. So someone who takes over the business can look into the record. How did I grow this plant 5 years ago? Here's where we put it. Here's when we planted it. Here's when we sprayed it. Here's how much of it we could sell.
Can
Getting
I
it in a
incorporate? Can I incorporate a spray schedule into Plantiful?
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Oh yeah. You
Okay.
can do task lists. You can assign it to people. You could give people, here's log in today and here's everything you need to do.
Wow.
All on this page,
That,
spray this, pot this up, everything that someone might need to do, assign it to all your workers, and someone could just log into the platform and be like, here's all the things I got to do today. Here's everything I got to spray, everywhere I got to go, everywhere I got to pot things up.
So if you have a grower on staff, the grower can go putting, the list together of what everybody needs to be doing when it comes to, let's say, spraying or planting or anything like that. And everybody could just wake up in the morning, get to work, open it up, and know exactly what they need to do.
Exactly. And spend it, as little time in the platform as possible, because really all they would need to do is hit a button, big check mark that says, yep, I did this. And now it's saved down so that we know exactly, you'll know exactly what happened, who did it, when was it done. So, next year you're like, this crop sold really well. Wonder what we did right? You can look it up and be like, here's everything.
I love that. I love that because it's super intuitive and it's great. I like it. Literally, I love it. Everything I'm hearing, I love. And I love the fact, too, that anybody can grab it and learn it quickly. They can look at it and see everything that was happening, and they could just redo it again. Or they can look at their sales. They can look at QuickBooks as well. And, with yours, and look and say, okay, look, last year we did 20,000 of this one item, but it didn't move the way we thought. And we had 4,000 left over that we had to fire, sale, or throw away, or whatever it might be. So now we're going to do a little bit less if that's what we project the next 6 months to be. So it's crazy, man. I love the platform, and I love that anybody can grab it. So if that one person's sick, it doesn't matter. Someone else can grab it and give off the orders. That's what I love.
Exactly.
I had one more question. How do you see what you're doing and the green industry in the next 5 years?
Ooh, big question.
Yeah.
So I think next 5 years is going to be transformational for the industry. I think if you fast forward, what are we in? That'd be 2028. I think 2028, if I'm a landscaper, I'm a retail garden center, I think I'm checking my phone, I'm checking, going online, ordering from my suppliers direct from a Plantiful, or, something else that pops up. I think that's the future of the industry is going to be not willing to accept a business that you can call up and says, I'll call you back in a few hours, or can't say with confidence what you have when you're going to have it. And for the nurseries of the world, the growers of the world, I think it's going to be a lot more data driven. I think it's going to be a lot more, hey, I know exactly when I should be doing everything. I try to optimize out every last acre, every last day, because to your point, like, getting harder to hire people, it's more expensive to hire people. Input costs are going up. The shipping costs more, the pots cost more, everything needs to get ordered more in advance. So, the businesses that don't adapt and plan ahead and figure out, like, how can I be more efficient, they're going to get squeezed. And the ones that can really, grab the bull by the horns, figure out how to use technology, figure out how to do everything they're doing so well on the, grow quality plants, but figure out how to do it just more efficiently, sell through faster. Those are the ones that are going to win out. They're going to be the ones that can, keep growing. And I hope we don't see a whole bunch of businesses shut down. I hope that businesses are able to grow and the older generation pass it along or sell it, but I do think we'll probably start to see some consolidation. I think the folks out there that are hungry, that want to buy more land, to your point, why would I spend the money to go buy, a whole bunch of land, spend a ton of time and money to irrigate it and buy all the materials, when there's someone out there who has a great nursery, has staff that know how to grow things, and you can take it over tomorrow.
Exactly. And that's the entrepreneurship, the investor side mindset. That's exactly everything you said there. I agree with. I see that happening, and I see the businesses that take it on and grasp it quicker. They're the ones that they will scale a lot faster, and they'll be one of the big consumers of, let's say, product in general and shipping product. Not consumer, but say shipping of product and pumping out product. They're going to have a lot more opportunity than the people that don't get in the tech space or integrate tech into what we do. David, thank you, man. I want to thank you for creating it, like I said, and just thank you for taking the opportunity to do this podcast. You guys,
of course, thanks for having me on, Willie.
You guys that are listening, I hope you learned something from this podcast. All right, David is a real life human. You can reach out to him. We're going to have all his stuff in the bio. So if you're listening to it or watching it on YouTube, everything will be there. Reach out to David. Let him know that you listen to the podcast and how excited and pumped you are to learn even more about Plantiful and how you can integrate this into your business today. Remember, the faster you jump on board into the tech space, the faster the opportunities are created, the faster you can save money, and the faster you can be more efficient for your customers, because that's what customers want. They want efficiency. They're busy. They don't have time to wait. All right, guys? God bless you. God bless you, David. We love you all. Stay tuned, because the other episode, the next one, is going to be fire. And thank you guys for staying to the end of the episode. God bless you guys. Bye.
Thank you for listening to this edition of The Plant Movement. Willie and Eddie invite you to connect with them on Instagram at both The Plant Movement Podcast and A's Ornamental Nursery. Those links are in the show description. Please leave us a well-worded 5-star review on Apple Podcasts to help others find the show. And remember to tap the follow button so that you'll be notified when the next edition of The Plant Movement is available.